Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are gonna enter the belly of the beast and defeat Malachai on cruel difficulty. Unfortunately, we are no longer in a hardcore, but well, the gameplay is still gonna be more or less the same. I mean, I still don't intend to die more than I already have by accident in the Haku mission. And not being in the Prophecy League does not fundamentally alter the gameplay experience. Of course, I'm gonna miss out on some of the prophecies, but the core gameplay experience is well, pretty much the same. Also combined with the fact that I'm not quite done theory crafting for my next build, that means I'm very likely, well, let's actually say just for certain, that I'm gonna continue playing this build into merciless difficulty. And no, we'll just play at least until we hit maps, and then run a couple maps, and at that point re-evaluate the options. The build I am currently theory crafting, I will spoil it a little bit. It's gonna be a melee character that uses Lacerate, one of the new skills that was added in the Prophecy League alongside of Vortex and Frostbolt. And let's just open this. And Lacerate looks interesting. It's a melee attack that can be used with swords and axes. And it seems especially tuned for dual wielding characters. It attacks once with your one hand and it attacks once with your other hand. And it attacks in a short AoE wave attack, so to say. It's like a force that goes out. It's like Reef, but there's no big AoE. It's just a straight line. And that seems interesting. And well, basically the word lacerate or the skill lacerate from other games, I have a very strong association with causing bleeding. Which for some reason the Path of Exile devs chose not to associate with their version of the skill. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to cause bleeding. I'm actually going to build a bleeding build using Lacerate as the primary AoE delivery vehicle for exactly that. And maybe supplement it with some things like Puncture, which has a guaranteed bleeding. First 6 socketed item dropped. It's a majestic blade, so it's armor based, so I'm not gonna actually use it, but no. Selling this to a vendor will yield 7 of these Jubileus orbs, which is pretty nice to have. But yeah, the last raid is gonna be a duelist, for the simple reason that, well, the duelist gets it as a quest reward. It's the only character that actually gets Lacerate as a quest reward at level 12. Everybody else just has to shop for it. And all the bleeding related skills are near the duelist, so that also helps. Let's see, it explodes, has mirrored items, identified items, and it freezes me when activated. So let's become frost immune and just plop out of here. Okay, and nothing interesting. Belly of the Beast, level 2. So we will be playing this for probably another 10 episodes, at least. That ought to get us to late merciless. Now, most of the builds they spend most of their time in normal difficulty, episodes wise, just because you're still building up the build, still developing your power. Then cruel, you start to snowball, and especially in the case of this build, at this point we have 80% of our defenses up and running. Most of the defensive scaling is now going to happen via item improvements. We got 3600 energy shield, we got nearly 2000 life. So effectively we got nearly 5500 points of hit points. Which of course via our Sorrow of the Divine we can actually regenerate the energy shield a little bit while fighting and things like that. But damage scaling is gonna be the next step. So we're almost gonna level, so I'll dive into the short-term skill plans there. Plus of course in the description of this video there's as always a link to the skill tree that will show you exactly what I intend to go for. At least what I originally intended to go for. In practice I might deviate a little bit from my choices as my insight into what I think the build needs develops as I play it. Let's see. But yeah, we're gonna do more damage, we're gonna crit more, we're gonna freeze more. We're basically gonna add a pretty strong control element to a build that's, well, already doing not too shabby. But the control is what is the thing that we will probably need in order to survive the late game. One of the nice things of playing in softcore is that I can actually experiment a little bit with maps, and I can actually push harder on maps and also on bosses like Merciless, Dominus, Merciless, Dresso, Merciless, Malachai, Merciless Labyrinth. I can actually push for that and just get a feeling for how difficult they are. Since I have been feeling intimidated by what I don't know. Just because my first experience with Merciless Dresso was rather painful. Doing those bosses from the safety of Standard League might not actually be a bad idea. It's only gonna make me a better player for future series and hopefully make me less likely to die to random events in the future. Anyway, it will be fun. Fun will be had. Right, skill points. So we have assigned a whole lot of points to evasion, energy shield and life. And some life regen over here. So from now on we are going to go over to Breath of Rime and Heart of Ice. And afterwards we're going to go Fingers of Frost. So Fingers of Frost we can connect via here. And the cold skills we are pathing over basically from here. And already have 1 point assigned, so we can just assign the next one over here. And this should add quite a bit of damage, but also chance to freeze. So damage, this is actually chill duration, freeze duration, 5% chance to freeze, and another 5% chance to freeze. So this is just gonna stack on top of the freeze chance we already get from Frostbite, Icebite, yes. And over here this is just pure damage with some slight cold resistance penetration. That stacks just on top of everything else. And afterwards over here, more chance to freeze, more cold damage, the cold duration, chill duration, chance to freeze enemies which are chilled, and because Vortex makes everything inside of it already chilled, it's basically gonna be relevant quite a bit. And enemies become chilled as they unfreeze, so we have a bigger chance to refreeze them afterwards. And after we have all of those cold nodes chosen, we are gonna go for crits. Because critting with cold damage basically freezes things. So it's gonna be a different way to stack cold freezing chance on top of everything else. And as a not unrelated side effect, if you crit with stuff you do more damage. And since freeze duration is based off of how much damage you do, critting, it also makes the freezing last longer. And here are the bowels of the beast. Say hello to Piety. Okay. Okay, so, yeah. Let's just pop some vortices down here. I don't think this vortex hits you hard enough. I don't want to get hit. Nope, no, not gonna get hit. Here, have a vortex. Not a vortex. So, let's unleash the minions. Really finish her. Blah. And that was a piety. Let's resummon our golem, since the golem was actually hurting a little bit. Okay, there you go, piety. Now let's look for her a bit down the road. In the harvest.
I'm working with piety. That sounds even say that loud.
Laughing a little bit at the dialogue. Shadow is really uncomfortable working with piety. Or filtration. So far we're tanking things pretty well. The piety fight was rather uneventful. But as I say, we've been emphasizing defense very strongly. And I believe I have more life and energy shield right now than I had on my Shadow playthrough with the Chaos Caster when I hit late Merciless. So that's just a little bit of a contrast. Of course, that one wasn't a trickster. Maybe I should actually talk with Piety first and tag the waypoint. Oh, being a trickster definitely makes you more tanky. What are the points? Oh, bonus to evasion, energy shield. The dodge helps a little bit. Faster energy recharge. This is just fluff. A little bit more evasion, energy shield, but shade form is the real money maker here. Bunch of extra evasion and energy shield on top of a build that's already really focused on energy shield. It really ups your defenses. And the interesting thing is I'm still running around with my old armor because of course I died before I actually had my new armor fully crafted with 5 sockets. So, no, with a proper armor, I think it would be very easy to push this build over 5000 energy shield. That would be easy. Life, if you pick up a couple more life nodes here and there, you probably can get push it to 2500. More than that you will really have to push, but I think 2500 is probably doable. But it's energy shield that you want to scale and treat life as just a bonus, and treat it basically, if once you are fighting in life, it's for getting away. That's the mistake I made. I did not get away when I was fighting in life, and that's why I died. So learn from me. Let's see. Okay, she's no. Yeah, she keeps running in and out of my range. So let's see. Frostbite you. Yep. Just keep shooting. So Bitterdream is though getting distracted, and there's enough time in between her attacks that she's giving me enough opportunities to recharge my energy shield, which is a good thing. So I'm just gonna do some vortexes, which helps, and that was the Bitterdream. Now, a slow attacking character like this really, really useful. Do we actually have a lot of faster recharge? 20% faster recharge. So rather than 2 seconds, it's gonna be 1.6 seconds. I might actually wanna focus a little bit on that as well. Just again, just thinking out loud. On the skill tree up here, you got Essence Surge, which gives you a 15% faster start of energy recharge, and some bonuses to actually increasing the recharge rate. But this 15% faster will then stack with the other 20%, so you get a 35% faster start of your energy recharge. So let's see, that's going to be 1.3 seconds. Yeah, I think it's going to be 1.3 seconds then, rather than 1.6 seconds before your energy shield starts recharging. And currently my energy shield recharges with over 1,000 points per second. Yeah, so in 3 seconds it's full. But normally it's 5 or 6 seconds. For me it's now 3 seconds. If you pick up the extra recharge nodes up here, that's going to be another 15%. Actually 60% on top of the 100%. So you'll probably get about 1500, so it's going to be 2.5 seconds roughly before you are full. So 1.3 seconds to wait, 2.5 seconds to recharge, so within 4 seconds you are from empty to full, if you don't get hit. That's where your evasion and your dodge and the natural slowness of enemy attacks is gonna help you. If you're fighting a single enemy with slow attack that you could either dodge as your character, you know, you have the flame dash, you have the dodge, you have evasion, you have block, all those things, they will help you get your energy shield recharged faster. And as a result, you stay alive. Let's actually have a quick chat with Piety up here and give her that ugly lung. But also empty our pockets. Then we can just after that do the other 2 bosses and then just move on to Malachai. So, ID all the things. Let's see, Axe don't care, Majestic Blade don't care, this is only level 50, I'm 62, so this is too low level. Accuracy on a Necro Circlet, that's not really relevant for us. And a big shield is also not quite what we want, even though plus 3% chance to block is not bad on a shield. The resists are also not quite bad. So, store all the things, just put this into the next bin, and then we move on. Two more organs also. Discipline, clarity, and yeah, I'm causing the aura to third parties. Yes. So Frostbomb is still one of the nice additions for cold builds, because it's a curse without being a curse, and as such you can combine it nicely with a blasphemy setup. Hello there, Chavron.
Now you are simply gorgeous.
Hello here.
So pretty.
Here, have some skeletons. In hindsight, I might have wanted to keep that for Malagaro. I think Malagaro is a bit of a trickier guy because he uses a lot of chaos. On the other hand, I'm a ranged character. That shouldn't really matter all that much. Oh, oi, oi. Here, I can do that as well. So I don't technically cast lightning orbs. Still looks more or less the same. slightly worried that my Golem is now starting to crow a bit more often than it normally did. Even though it is slowly leveling up. It's just nearly it actually has over 9,000 life. So that's a bit more than I have. On the other hand, it does have a habit of aggravating everything, and it doesn't have any evasion, resistances or dodge. Or block, for that matter. Hello there. Goodbye. So, 6 rocketable items are starting to drop now. That is the nice thing of the end game. It is so much better for collecting currency than the early game. Let's see. Revives nearby enemies, but then we might as well just trigger it. Yo. Okay. Ooh, Chaos Orb. That is very nice. Let's see. Yep. Good. Malachai. Dissection time. Yes, yeah. So he does chaos damage, which kind of ignores my energy shield, which is though the main annoyance of this guy. There's only so much you can do against it. Let's drink a little. I'm just trying to space out my my flask a little bit. So this is one of the bosses that really does punish you for heavily investing in energy shield and rewards you for actually investing in life. Okay, he actually seems to be using ethereal knives as well. And that is Malachai, or Malachai. Right. Well, since we need to recharge our flasks anyway, might as well portal there. Might as well empty our pockets as well. That way, whatever items drop, we can pick them all up. Though I'm not getting into illusions that Malachai's drops are gonna be good. Most of the time, I am unlucky when it comes to Malachai's drops. Either way, let the fun begin. So the Malachai fight, it has multiple stages as such. Vaal summon skeletons might not be the best of skills to use here, because you're just gonna exhaust it rather quickly. Oh. So as an end boss, he does have a curse resistance. Oh. As I say, as an end boss, they've got curse resistance, so the blasphemy is gonna be less effective against them. Also, stop throwing those chaos things on top of my face. Okay. But still, no, a curse is better than no curse. So, putting a Frostbolt or a Frostbite curse on their head at range. No, it does penetrate their cold resistance a little bit. And it also makes him slightly more likely to get frozen. Okay, he's down to half life again, so as a result We have to kill Pite again. Also, stop doing that to me. Okay, so this is the point where energy shield is really low. That's the point where you really don't want to be in the fight anymore. And just run around a little bit until your energy shield has been recharged. So, Frost Bomb, Frostbite, Curse, and then just bolt her to the face. And she's gone. And you notice that stacking the resistance penalties works pretty darn well. 3 summon the Golem. Because the interesting thing is bosses, they have curse resistance. Frostbomb, it's curse-like, but it's not an actual curse. And as a result, the 20% cold resistance piercing is gonna apply completely. As well as the penetration we got on the Frostbolt and on the Vortex. They're both gonna apply. Hey, let's continue. Final stage. Okay. So I'm just gonna put a frost bomb around him to make him slightly less annoying. Okay, just keeping some vortices around myself, I think, to just defend myself against zombies. Okay, so fighting in life, that's something you really want to avoid. Also, we already took down his first stage. It went rather quickly. So, I'm gonna drink my flask here. Okay. So he's rather explosive when it comes to dealing damage. That is not gonna change. Okay, you stop trying to attack me. Yeah. Okay. Also have to remember Frostbite, Frostbomb. Okay. Those mine things. Okay, he's porting. Then wait for him to pop and then just flame dash out of there. Frostbomb, Frostbite. He's sinking, so he's gonna pop up. Might as well disappear so he does not explode on top of you and take a lot of your life away. Golem is running low on life. Okay, we have another one of his hearts to deal with here. Can you curse it? You can't curse it, but Frostbomb does work. Okay. So. One more heart after this. He's close enough that Enfeeble is sticking to him, so I actually need to take a couple steps away. So from this distance Enfeeble does stick. He's really standing on the edge here. Okay, I'm doing dangerous stuff here because my life is actually moving. Let's get the heck out of here. So Golem needs a resummon. Oops, get your freaking tentacles away from me. Okay. He is very close to half life though. I think he's gonna trigger his final heart until he's down to a quarter. Okay, Frostbite works, Frostbomb bar. Oh, you're in range of my curse again. It's good for reducing the damage, so if he ports on top of you, you should deal less damage. Well, that said, you want to deal a lot of damage to him. Also, he's tentacling and doing a degen on the floor. You want to stack that. Porting out again. Okay, and he had enough. Okay, let's see, Vortex around me for defensive purposes. Get out of that circle. Okay. Just frostbiting. Oh, we lost our Golem. Golem is kind of instrumental in keeping us alive. Okay, so final stage. He's not gonna recover any more of his life, so now we can summon the skeletons to just aid in taking him down one more time, while everything is just stacked maximally against us. This allows us, now him will be slightly distracted from us, so we can just focus on pure damage against him. Okay, just got my silver flask up, but yeah, okay. Final sip. Again, just reapplying Frost Bomb and then shooting bolts. And now Frostbite, it's a bonus, but the combo each time is Frostbolt plus just Frostbolts. And using Vortex as a defensive skill. It seems to have worked. Split. Okay, well, that was cruel difficulty. So, might as well just sell all the things. Yeah. Random items. Oh, there's actually some spell damage on here, but wait, it's not a Colton Soul, so that's too bad.
Go where you are needed.
No, boss fights are not where you wanna get most of your stuff from anyway. So we talk to Ojun, and then we move over to Merciless. And we are back at the Twilight Strand. And because I've been focusing pretty heavily on my resistances, I'm actually maxed out on my regular resists. Chaos, of course, being negative because, well, need to stack a bit more chaos resist, but everything else is positive at this point. Okay. And with that, I'll see you again in Lionized Watch on Merciless. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.